so Thomas, I believe you were saying that it's around 20% of your work days that were affected, is that right?
Statistically speaking, that is correct.
Okay, and about how much are your bonuses worth, and any other losses that you suffered just for the work part?
Historically, we've had monthly bonuses, of which I have earned $2,000 in bonuses per month. That's based off of commission, which is pretty standard. In addition to that combined $4,000, $2,000 per month, I also have suffered $2,000 for mental anguish due to my lack of sleep, which has further forced me to lose productivity at work, which combines back and sets with depression, and I believe has beginning to harm me mentally.
Okay, so then along with the work productivity, was there, I believe you had mentioned in your opening statement that there were potential promotions or something along those lines that you lost as well?
I thought that I knew that I was in line for a promotion. There had been rumors about it, and then all of a sudden when the party started 2 months ago, the rumors of my promotion suddenly stopped. The bosses stopped talking to me because my productivity was severely limited as compared to how it was before that.
And do you see is there any causation or any specific comments from coworkers or bosses saying that
everyone has noticed that my productivity has gone down? It's a fact. It's a numerical fact that I'm making less sales than I was before.
Okay, and so would you like to reiterate what your thoughts on the compensation for that would be then?
It's the same thing. So I think $2,000 per month. So that's $4,000, and then $2,000 in payment for mental anguish due to my lost promotion. That's not taking into effect the additional salary I would have incurred, which would have been approximately $10,000 annual salary.
Okay.
We can put that back on the table at a later time if it's necessary.
Is the estimated salary for the lost promotion? Is that what that would be?
The position I would have earned.
All right. And so basically what Thomas has laid out is that there was $4,000 in missed bonuses. There were $2,000 worth of mental anguish and depression, and roughly $10,000 on a promotion that he lost out on. What are your thoughts on monetary compensation in this?
Let's go to the one thing that we can't talk about: the mental anguish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have proof?
I've been to a doctor.
Okay. Do you have a note?
No, I can get it.
Okay. Well, if we're here at mediation, I'm prepared. I'm saying, okay, if there's no proof of mental anguish, I'm not going to get proof or compensation for something we don't have proof for. If you were going to come and claim mental anguish and $2,000, I mean, you should have came prepared for $2,000 mental anguish. Notwithstanding, I'll believe you for a second. Even if considering that, $2,000 for mental anguish. So you're adding another bonus. You want to give yourself a third bonus.
I'm not giving it to myself.
You're asking for a third bonus.
It's not a bonus.
It's the same monetary compensation for the bonus that you said they were. So
it's irrelevant. It's a completely different point.
It's a different point. So it's the same monetary value.
It's the bonuses are X. The mental anguish is Y. The fact that they're the same monetary equivalent, that's irrelevant.
Right, but you're giving yourself the monetary equivalent of another bonus. Correct. Now I understand. Like I get it. Like you kind of feel a little left out. You didn't get your bonuses, but I don't think I'm not comfortable paying a monetary number based upon not only lack of evidence, but based upon the bonuses and these other things. So what I can say is, first of all, like I've said before, I've already paid $650.
Not to me.
Right, but I could.
You could what?
I could give you $650, not $650,000. Woof. $650, regular dollars, human dollars. I could give you those human $650, and because I already paid it to the police, I could pay it to you. That's that's what I've been charged with, right? That's what the police have said, okay, this is wrongdoing, this is the tickets, that is what the police decided was the wrong, right?
No.
$650.
That was what you paid to the police.
Right, because
The
that's what
police
they
haven't
said
said
I've done
anything
wrong.
about me. The police have not included me.
But these were based off of the complaints, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what?
Which is fines against the community, not fines.
And so I
against
can
me.
pay you, the community, $650.
No, I'm not the community.
All
I'm
right,
me.
so I think at this point, Alex has suggested around $650 compensation, and Thomas has suggested around somewhere between $6,000 and $16,000. And so I think as of right now we're a little bit far off on the numbers. So I think if we could just for a minute have maybe an explanation of why you're at that number, or if you, I know that the mental anguish portion seemed to be the most contentious issue. Thomas, if you could just talk a little bit about what the $2,000 of mental anguish covers. Was it doctor bills for doctors, or was
It's
it
a combined.
anything?
It's a combined reparations for doctor's bills that I've had to pay because of my lack of sleep and insomnia due to parties. Also, it's for pain and suffering, which is commonly handed out in liability lawsuits.
Okay. So.
Which we don't want this to go to. We're avoiding a lawsuit, which is why we're here.
Correct. We are here to avoid lawsuits. So, if there was some sort of documentation provided by Thomas, would you be more willing to discuss
yes, but I feel as though the number 2,000 is still slapped onto it differently. If pain and suffering is a medical condition that which requires payment in order to fix, have the doctor bill the doctor, show me the bills for the doctor. That's
not what pain and suffering is.
But you're saying mental anguish, right? In
Correct.
conjunction with pain and suffering. If this is something that has to go through the doctor, then I should pay for the doctor bills. I shouldn't have to pay you more than the doctor bills.
All right. So I think maybe what we could do on this particular issue is to maybe assign some sort of homework, and we can table the whole mental anguish, pain and suffering issue for now, so that we can be more productive and work more in this session to talk about where there are agreements or potential agreements. So I think I would suggest for the next mediation session that we have, if Thomas could bring in some sort of documentation of any medical bills related to mental anguish, pain and suffering, and if Alex could bring in any documentation of the fines that he paid, and along with that any sort of research he has on what mental anguish would be valued at. Yes.
I think that his fines that he's paid to the government are irrelevant in this case.
Okay.
Other than he's been cited for wrongdoing.
Okay, so you believe that
I think that his having
a
paid,
complete outside issue.
Correct.
That
despite or notwithstanding the fact that he has been cited for wrongdoing, the monetary value of what his fines are have no place in this
I mean, I've already
litigation
been punished. I've already been punished $650.
by the government.
Right, by the government. And I think in this case, if you want to have
This
some
isn't a
sort of-
criminal court.
Right, but if we want to have some sort of goodwill, you have to recognize that I've already produced $650 out of my
But that
pocket
doesn't
based
assist
upon
me.
this. Correct, it doesn't assist you, but you also need to
I
understand.
can appreciate that you've already given back. But I think that I personally deserve some.
Right, but I think you need to consider me as not an individual who makes a lot of money as a freelance writer, that I don't have $650 to sling around. I had to pay $650, and now you, seeing that I have paid $650, want money out of me. And I feel like you are taking advantage of this situation when I clearly
It's not
didn't have
taking
this money.
advantage if I've been
all
harmed.
right. At this point, I think our best path forward would probably be to do some quick caucuses, and so anybody want to go first for a private meeting?
I could go.
You wanna step
Yeah,
out? Okay.
I can step out now.
I'll meet with Thomas first, though. Right, there's refreshments right around this corner in there. And I'll come get you when we need you. Alright, so I think at this point, you've been you've been insisting on the monetary compensation for your lost promotion, along with the missed bonuses and $2,000 of mental anguish. So I think you obviously had the evidence that you were, or the proof that you had been receiving the bonuses, and those were $2,000 a month. And we already talked about the homework for the mental anguish, so we're just kind of going to table that till next time. So do you want to talk any about the bonuses or lost promotion?
How do you mean talk about?
Just like what your normal circumstances would be as opposed to what they are now, and like how the specific incidents that brought this issue forward, how those were related.
In my industry as a salesman, selling tractors, I usually get bonuses based on commission. I have a history of being one of the highest sellers in my company. It's been established over a series of years, month by month. And for the last 2 months, starting when these noise violations, which he's been cited for, when they began, I stopped getting my bonuses. And I've lost out on $4,000, which should have been my money. He stole $4,000 from me.
All right. So I think with the $4,000 in missed bonuses, are you looking for that then directly in cash? Are you looking for some sort of other equal value trade-off, or is there another solution that you'd like to see played out?
I would prefer cash or assets, and I don't know that he has anything of value. As I know that he's a writer, so potentially we could include him in writing an article about me and my company in an attempt to gather more support from the community, more interest in my corporation.
And do you think that would improve your standing at work and
Yes,
maybe
I think that
help
would
to
assist me.
recuperate some of the lost bonuses and promotion money?
Yes.
Okay, so you would see some like monetary value in that.
Correct.
Is there any certain amount you'd estimate it at, or just something that would have to be discussed within the specific terms of an agreement?
I could see a well-written article bringing in if the 4,000 from bonuses, that's passed. So I'm not taking anything but compensation for that.
Okay.
For the $10,000 in missed promotion, I would contend that his article would be worth $4,500.
All right. So I'm hearing you say that you want direct cash payment or assets worth $4,000 for the bonuses. You're not really willing to negotiate that down?
Correct.
Okay. And then you believe like an article could be like either a supplementary or a replacement that would be worth about $4,500. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add in this session?
I'd like to bring another topic to the floor.
Okay, for our main agenda or just for this discussion?
Main agenda.
Okay.
Can I do that now, or should I wait till he's here?
If you want to bounce the idea off me, and then we can also
I would
bring it
like
up later.
not necessarily penalties, but I would like for his friends to stop parking in my driveway, because on
So you-
multiple occasions.
Okay, so as opposed to earlier when we talked about the noise, you'd like to talk about the park.
In addition.
Right, yeah. All right, I'll write that down, and then we can bring that up once we get back into the main discussion. Anything else you'd like to add?
I think that's it for me.
All right, and any of this you want to keep confidential as opposed to...
No, you can tell.
Okay. All right, so I guess we'll walk you out and switch you with Alex. All right, so I believe before we left, we were discussing different monetary and equivalent compensations, and so I believe the last bit you had brought up was about, other than the mental anguish, which we tabled, I think you had talked about the tickets you had paid and how you thought that might be of some value in these discussions.
I just don't think that he's respecting my $650 that I've already paid out of pocket. That's close to $1,000, right? So I've already paid close to $1,000 already in terms of fees, and he wants me to pay more money. Like, that's not, I don't think he's respecting my ability to pay more money. And again, this isn't something where he can force me to pay higher or another. We're here to negotiate. We're here to talk about what I can possibly do to help him, and he's asking me to do something where I cannot help him. And so, like, I mean, like, I can, in terms of compensation, especially on things like, you know, grief and whatever, those aren't things that have a monetary value that he's giving me, and so he's just asking for more money. So I'm afraid he's trying to just, you know, strong our money out of me based upon emotional appeal when, I mean, yeah, I did, you know, I had a couple of parties. The police said I wasn't guilty. The police said I was guilty about parking tickets. And I've already paid.
So, I believe then what you're saying is that you think that what you've already paid is worth some value as it's
Yes.
already punished you and maybe helped you either change what you've been doing or in the future it'll be a bigger influence on you. And was there any sort of, after the tickets, was there any sort of changes you made to how you address the parking?
I mean, yeah, I changed the parking after the tickets because, you know, I didn't want to pay any more tickets, but, like, I still think, like, you know, I just think, like, after that, like, there's more that could be done. Or there's other things that could be done besides the monetary. Like, if maybe, like, our commercial interests or other interests were the same, we could talk through it, maybe, you know.
All right. Do you have any suggestions on what commercial influences you have? Or
yeah, I'll give him like a counter offer, maybe based upon giving him, because he's a salesman, I could give him clients or something that we could talk about. So maybe that'll work. That's something that he'll take.
And do you know, like, how you would assign value? Because I know that you had mentioned, like, you weren't quite sure about the process that he was establishing value, but how would you?
Maybe I can establish value on individual clients that I could give him for like $1,000 per person.
All right.
Because, you know, he makes commission, so the commission will probably be like $1,000 depending on what he makes. Or what he sells, really. A possibility of 1,000. That could probably work.
And were there any other issues you wanted to discuss in the caucus, or anything that you thought of that
I think
might have been missed out earlier?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right, so I think kind of what you've mentioned here has been. Was there any sort of, like, what, I know you had mentioned, like, your financial status, and was there any sort of limit on what you think you can?
The highest I could would be like 2,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then, did you want to keep this as a private
Yeah,
conversation?
we'll keep it private.
All of it? Or
Yeah, all of
anything to be revealed? Okay.
All of it, yeah.
So you'll just reveal it if you so choose.
Yeah, depending on what happens.
All right. I'll go get Thomas, and we'll get back into the discussion then.